What is up, dudes? You guys are locked into the Pleasant Podcast. Today is November 21st. Yeah, 3:40 p.m. here at Arabica Coffee Shop. What's good? This is a pre-recorded recording due to technical reasons, and our main man, Dan, is not available today. So our premiere location, exactly, is just not happening. But at the table today, we have some really special guests. We're going to go around the room. Across from me is Mags. I want to say what's up.
Hey, guys.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do? What do you even do?
I guess I just try to, bebop around, live. Do
you art at all?
Oh, yeah, I do. Thinking about going to an art school, so that's cool. Very stressful. But yeah, I love creating, and I feel as though it's a passion of mine, so yeah.
What type of art do you do?
I don't like to fix myself, I guess, in one sort of genre, but I really do enjoy doing paintings, specifically like portrait paintings and such. So yeah.
What's your favorite medium to paint with?
I would have to say acrylic paints.
Low-key interrogation time.
What brushes do you use?
Oh.
What microns? What microns? And who else is at this table? We got Jonas over here kicking it. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
He's been on our other podcasts.
I dabble.
Yeah. What else? What do you do? Do you participate in the arts?
I skateboard, I play guitar, and I hate myself.
All great passions at such a young age. You're already there. He's already there.
I also play some bass in the DL. It's no big deal.
Very good. Very good. And we got Joe. What's up, man?
Hi, I'm Joe.
What's up,
I do
man?
photography. I just lay in bed half the time. I don't go to class really, and I'm really broke, and I work at Menchie's.
Turn up.
No way.
I like it. I strive to be Joe. He's my spirit animal. And next we have Ashley. What's up?
Hi, I'm Ashley. And like Jonas, just a lot of self-hatred and stuff.
What
You
do
can't
you...
rip on my self-hatred.
Hey.
I mean, he's kind of got a point. Wait, hold on. Ashley, what do you do? Do you have any hobbies?
A lot of reading. Definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you like to read?
A lot of nonfiction, believe it or not. Mostly on like science and such, but
Really?
whatever. Yeah.
For you guys just now tuning in to the Pleasant Podcast, I went to school with Ashley's sister, Chelsea. I'm surprised you're not as into psychology as she is.
Definitely into psychology, but more towards like biology and stuff, and like just understanding the human body is really something I'm interested in.
Interesting. Far out. Kind of stemming off of that in the realm of psychology, today's topic was brought to us by Mags because she's awesome. Today's topic is masculinity, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little more?
I'd have to say specifically like masculinity in the United States, because I believe that within our society we've kind of built up this very like hyper masculine culture. And I think that because of that, there are a lot of really negative side effects. And I think that the definition of like what it means to like be a man in like American culture has just kind of like warped over the like past many generations. And I think that we could elaborate on that. And I think it'd be interesting to get both a woman's perspective and a man's perspective. So that's why all of you are here.
Oh, we were gathered here today to talk about masculinity. Do you have any main points on masculinity, or should we just rant on it? Have you had any weird run-ins with people that are like, hey, this person's not masculine even though they're a guy? Because like, even though we're talking about masculinity, I feel that this still kind of stems into a debate over like sexual orientation.
Yeah.
You know, especially since now it's a little more socially acceptable to be like I want to say it without it being insulting though.
Yeah.
You know. But like trans, the thing that almost like frustrates me are the people that say that they're a they. It's like, okay, I get that I get the bi thing, so you're either like, you're one of the two, or if you're lesbian or if you're gay, you're one of those two, right? But if you're a they, they're like, yeah, I don't associate myself with a gender. If I like you, I like you. I'm like, so you're bi. No, I'm not prejudiced. It's like, but you're bisexual then, right? That's where I start to get really confused when people start to almost fabricate things for attention. Not saying that is for attention, but I know people that definitely fit the attention box.
I feel like it's definitely something like we may not understand it, and
Yeah.
in no way am I trying to argue with you, but
Right.
like just kind of respect it, let them do their things.
Of course,
Like
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like they know what they're doing. I'm hoping so. Like let them figure it out.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to bring up the fact that, I guess just the way that I see like masculinity in American society. I guess we like define it by almost like these certain traits. And I mean, the way that I see it, like we define it as like being violent, like with violence. Almost like a lack of emotion. We also associate, I guess, drug use, and then I've also seen a lot of like degradation of women. So,
Definitely.
and I think that it's kind of awful that we
show.
we associate like I guess the qualities of 50% of our nation with these, I guess, themes.
I just think it's interesting. Like I was telling you about this earlier. There was a commercial for like testosterone pills or something.
Make sure you speak into the microphone.
sorry.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Saw a commercial about testosterone pills, and like they're talking about like men in America need to be masculine. If you have a low testosterone level, it's like you're not a real man. Like that's such an insane concept. Like you don't need to fit this mold of like the perfect man. Like do what you want.
What is a man? Coming from two females in the room, what?
Someone who identifies as a man.
But what is that identification?
So you mean like thematically?
Yeah, it's like, is a man somebody that like goes around and fixes your pipes and plumbing and like saves you from spiders? You know what I mean? Or is a man literally just a humanoid with a reproductive part that's different than your own? You know what I'm
Can I say
saying?
penis?
Oh no, I'm gonna say penis. I just feel
I
like
say penis. Like,
yeah.
Say penis.
Is it just a human with a dick, or is it somebody?
Bonus spaghetti, you like
Is
to
it
talk about
is it
this.
is it
One
somebody?
time.
Or is it somebody that just like has this ruthless role? I suppose.
Well, I think that you bring that up is very interesting because I think that a lot of people can get like gender and sex mixed up, whereas like sex is almost looking at it from a biological standpoint, whether you have like XX chromosome or XY chromosome, whereas gender, I guess, is almost like the specific like societal mold that has been like put into place and like almost that you fall into.
Yeah, gender works more like a spectrum, and you just kind of pick a point where you feel you fit, and then like represent it however you want.
Yeah.
I see.
And I think that like a lot of men in America almost have this. I would say that a lot of them are very like homophobic in a sense of. I think that they feel that they need to be hyper masculine so that they do not get like mixed up with being gay. God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid, like that's the worst thing, you know.
Yeah, I can speak on this topic a lot.
Same.
I'm a straight white male. I hate to break it to you, but like I'm very skinny. I'm tall. I don't try to be a hyper masculine guy. I just kind of do what I want. I really don't
Exactly.
care what you think of me. Like it's 2016. Call me gay. It's not an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to be gay.
Like
Yeah.
and like I get it a lot from a lot of people, and it's been used as an insult from people that are very close to me that like you're gay. Like I remember like my ex-girlfriend would be like, oh, I don't know. I said like, I think we just broke up. And I was like, go fuck whatever guy you want. And she's like, you too. Like and I'm just like, fuck you. Like
Yeah. But I mean, I wanted to ask like, so has that? I mean, just like living in like a hyper masculine society, like has that affected you in other ways just besides that?
yeah, like I mean like it kind of makes me insecure at times. People are like constantly like thinking you're gay, and social anxiety
Yeah.
plays a big role in that too. Like whenever I'm somewhere and like you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Jonah, if you want to elaborate more personally,
On how like
I don't know.
I've never been called like. I've always seemed, I guess, masculine enough to not be called gay.
Mm-hmm.
It's where like I have a little bit of facial hair, kind of. I wear baggy-ish clothing. I have a deeper. You have this weird inflection in your voice that makes you seem kind of. I see your voice. Dude. I don't know what it is.
I don't
It doesn't
know,
mean
I
you're
can't
yeah.
help it.
Like, you got the voice, which I guess is a really weird thing to say. I know it sounds stupid, but like high pitched men with high pitched voices are usually looked at as like not masculine because men are supposed to have low voices.
Exactly. And I guess like that's just another like stereotype that for some reason like was formed in America, that we use to define masculinity, which I think is total bullshit, honestly. Like how can you just define like what is, I guess, quote unquote manly and what is not? And people who don't fit into that realm of manly are going to be ostracized, which I think is just disgusting.
I think it's just like the whole concept of like we need to break the mold, like get past like the whole breaking gender roles. Like I feel like that's an important step
Yeah.
in like taking down the level of what masculinity is at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Because, like, Jonas, love that you paint your nails. I think it's great,
That's
you know?
great.
Like, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I love, like,
Hesh.
there's this whole,
Yeah.
whole thing, like, against guys wearing pink. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, wear what you want. Like,
Yeah.
there's no need to, you know,
Yeah.
just do what you want.
Well, I guess like we also have like the issue of, you know, people saying like, "Oh, act like a man," in regard to men trying to express emotion, and I feel as though that is also like a huge issue because if you look at I guess like suicide statistics in America, specifically I guess like the rate of young men committing suicide is just so high.
It's insane. Like, I've seen stuff about that, and it's just too much.
I know I've been affected by that because, like, I'm a very emotional guy,
Mhm.
and like, although like few people I do get close to, I'm very emotional with. It's very difficult to like be, you know what I mean? Like as a guy, it's just like I remember when I was younger, if I'd cry in public, my mom would be like, "You don't want people to see you cry. You're a guy."
Yeah.
Damn, dude, are you serious?
First off, your mom, goddamn.
That's
Second,
that's really brutal, dude.
yeah, the whole masculinity not showing emotion thing. I feel like it's I don't know. That's really weird. It's like as a masculine person, you're supposed to show emotion. You're supposed to like be this stoic, like
Mhm.
masculine, like, aggressive figure who doesn't
Yeah.
like feel anything or do anything except fight, fucking kill.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. No,
I don't know, that's like the epitome of masculinity to people for some reason. which
Exactly.
isn't something to aspire to. It's just ignorant and reckless usually.
yeah, and like I totally know where you're coming from, and I mean just like other statistics and studies that have been done, just because we relate violence with masculinity, you know, a large percentage of I guess homicides have been committed by males. So
I feel like there's also the flip side, like, women tend to be more emotional, which maybe it's true, but, like, so does that say men can't be emotional? No, like, there's this whole, like, barrier against, like, them expressing their emotions, and it's just a ridiculous concept.
I do think most of this, and I wrote it down as well. I think most of this comes down to. Hold on a second. There's a few different points, but one of them being primordial instinct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like hunter-gatherer, sort of like generic. If everybody's in the forest, there's like hunters and gatherers. You know what I mean?
Men hunt, women gather. It's the
Right.
whole
That's
stereotype.
how that was established, and then like going somewhat into modern times with World War I, World War II, the
Oh,
women
yeah.
were
Women in the workforce?
that was a really big thing. Like Rosie the Riveter was very empowering, but at the same time, nobody really wanted women to fight because that just wasn't the thing to do. But at the same time, if you think about it from like an animal perspective, you don't really want the organisms that are reproducing to die because then, you know what I mean? Then your species is like gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get that. Also with the Industrial Revolution, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, along with big industry and like war going on, throughout the 50s and 60s, I think, or 40s and 50s, from the 20s pretty much through the 60s and now of course, the trend was definitely set because of how the workplace was set up. It was definitely like World War I and World War II vets coming back, living in big duplexes, kind of like how Eastlake's set up. Like every house almost looks exactly the same, you know. And then there was the generic, like how it was portrayed in media, like, "Honey, I'm home."
yeah.
Oh, that's great, Bubs. You know what I mean? And this dude's she's just like vacuuming. She's like, "I have dinner." You know. Even that '70s show, people don't really realize that like Eric Foreman's life is stuck in that whole baby boomer
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
thing.
And that's
you know what I
definitely
mean?
because of his father. Like,
Right.
the mindset of his
Right.
father.
And Red is like Red's the whole reason why it's funny and ironic is because there are a lot of people that are just like Red.
Yeah.
You know?
Still in today's society.
Yeah,
also.
people that
Yeah.
are just very blunt to the point. I have to get the money for the family regardless of what's going on. Of
Yeah.
course, that's what stirs up a lot of problems, like in households, in parenting wise,
Yeah.
because then the dad's out all day working and doesn't really care that much about the kids because he's so preoccupied
There's
with
like
work.
the detachment. Like,
Right. So I
issues.
think this even starts to go backwards in some cases in the modern scenario, whereas on the other podcast we talked about parents that were divorced, and it was just like the female, of course, of the family is raising all the kids, so she's almost having like double duty as being the dad and the mom at the
Yeah.
same time. So in terms of masculinity from a personality and psychological perspective, I do think that it can definitely go across platforms, so to speak. I've never really had anybody call me gay. Same
Yeah,
with
I've
you,
never
Joe.
had that happen.
At the same time, though, that could be, once again, because of biologically how men are set up. You have
Yeah.
more testosterone, you know? So, like, there's, like, a running joke, like, even if you ask your sister, Chelsea, in, like, middle school, early elementary school, my voice was, like, always low. All the time. It's like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? You know? So, I can see that. I feel like we will never fully reach the point to where everybody's totally equal, because we're just always going to have jackasses.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Out
a fair
there
point. Like, there's
doing
always gonna be
dumb
people
stuff.
so stubborn, set in their ways.
Right,
Like,
right. I think a sort of a way to kind of like battle it in terms of masculinity, instead of like completely canceling masculinity out, just sort of I wish society was a little more socially accepting for males that have like severe emotional trauma or breakdowns, especially due to their family. Because like I know a few people that have gone to juvie and stuff too, and it's just like normal prison, or even once you reach normal prison status, if you've never had a dad to teach you how to fight, of course, sometimes that person ends up acting a little more feminine because that's all they know.
Yeah.
You know, it's very sorry to like see that, but it's like, yeah, everybody has those friends that are just like slightly more feminine, but that's not their fault.
and it's not a bad thing.
Right. It's not a bad thing too. It's not their fault. It's not a bad thing. It's just they literally did not have like a male figure to show them certain things.
Yeah.
It's not to say that they're not a man, you know?
Yeah.
It's just in this day and age when you're trying to, you can't necessarily treat everybody equal. It's always going to be lopsided.
Yeah.
You know.
I can speak from personal experience on that again. I was raised by my mom and my sister, and my dad lives on the west side, and he's always working, so I don't see him much. And like, he didn't teach me much. I mean, like my grandfather was there, but you know what I mean. I never had like a father, like a constant father figure in that life, where like kids were like playing catch with their dad.
Right.
I got that once in a while, and
Right.
even then it was rare.
Along with the emotional support, I do think the fact that a lot of marriages are split up is like extremely bad, because now you have this offset balance beam of just like love and caring from your mom, but then that means that kid can now get away with so much stupid shit. Like sometimes you need that person that doesn't care how you feel. You know what I
Put
mean?
the foot down.
Exactly. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go to a party. No, the fuck you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
there needs
need
to be some level of control.
Yeah, sometimes you need that resistance, because without that kid might be in an even worse place. You know,
Yeah.
rather have a yelling match with your kid and send him to his room than have him actually talk back to like a police officer.
Well,
Or
no,
like
like,
You
you're
know
stuck
what
in
I
a
mean?
like scary situation, or like in
No,
danger. or something.
But
Okay.
with me,
But yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't live with my dad, and when I'm with him, it's very controlling. You know what I mean? Because he's just a 6'4" guy, born in 1958. You know, he's a baby boomer at heart. You know everything about him. But my mom, she just kind of just lets me do anything. Like I got home at like 2 a.m. last night. She did not care. I mean, like I'm doing fine. Like I have control over myself. But like people that may not have control over themselves, like my sister, they get in bad situations. and-
Exactly.
Like, thankfully, I was raised in a two-parent household, but I definitely see, like, the difference. Because my mom is kind of like, oh, yeah, do what you want, as long as you're happy, as long as your grades are up. And then my dad, like, is so controlling, and I definitely see, like, the sense of masculinity in that. Like, putting their foot down and just so serious about it.
In some ways, like I said, I think you kind of need some people that almost lack all in total emotion just to keep other people in check. That doesn't mean that they don't have it. Just because they don't show that they're happy doesn't mean that they're not happy. You know, like I have a lot of family members that are like that. It's like so and so looks so angry, like you can't even get them to smile during their own birthday. You know, but you know that they love everyone in the family, because when it comes birthday time, you know, like you see the smile. They know that they're trying to hide the smile. You know what I mean? So it's like in terms of expectations and how men are actually perceived, I also do think that kind of should change, you know.
Yeah, like another part of like being a man is like taking control and like of the situation, like doing things and like being in charge, which I don't aspire to be. But like it's like a hallmark of masculinity is trying to be in charge and control the situation at all times.
Right.
And part of that is being unemotional and objective and like doing it.
Right. Part of that is just like it's either controlling your emotions or tearing down everything.
Yeah.
Like we said in the other podcast, I had an extreme anger
Yeah.
issue for a very long time. Chelsea might have told you about the time I choked out some kid during class.
No,
Holy shit, what?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me.
Chelsea.
What?
Yeah.
Never told me that.
This kid was
I've heard worse.
this kid was being right.
Was it warranted?
Not necessarily
Was
about
it
you.
No,
warranted?
but yeah.
Was it warranted though?
Oh hell yeah.
What do you
it
do?
was.
What do you do? If you could share.
Where's the okay? We were like in the class. I'm holding a pen. You guys are just now tuning in. We were in the class. Chelsea sat to my left,
Mm-hmm.
and this kid sat behind me. And well, I'll bleep it out since this is pre-recorded. But you guys know Mr. Kino.
Yeah.
All right, so
God.
Mr. Kino's back was turned, and we're doing the classwork, and this kid's just like, "Hey, Avery, let me get your pencil." I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, let me get your pencil." I was like, "No, like I need to finish this. Like, there's one up like on the chalkboard or some shit." You know,
Yeah.
it's like whatever. So then he just got up and like tackled me out of my chair
So
and like
this is,
pushed
like,
me.
self-defense.
Yeah. I mean, like it all.
He started.
Kind of. Hold
Pushing
on.
the self-defense
Yeah.
excuse.
He started it. You ended it, basically.
Yeah, like he pushed me out of my chair to get this pencil. So
You
then
went helmet.
I just, while the teacher still turned around, right? I just rolled over and put my thumb like on his Adam's apple, and I let his face like turn blue and shit. And then
My question
Chelsea started freaking out, dude. She was like about to cry. She's like, "You need to. What are you?" She was like whispering it too. It was so funny
Chelsea.
because by the time I realized, I was like, I might actually kill this kid. I just like let him go, and like he fell to the floor, and like Chelsea just like slammed her head against her desk. She's like, "Oh my god!" And then Mr. Kino was like, "Is there a problem?" I was like, "No." I got my pencil
Would you
back.
rather put
Not
effort
anymore.
trying to like beat you up over a pencil than go get the one from the chalkboard?
And now I think they're still talking about masculinity. That's when this particular person was just beginning wrestling. So for
Yeah.
him to show off to the other wrestling kids in the class
Oh,
is just
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I heard this kid skates. I bet you he thinks he's a fucking badass." It's definitely not the case. It's just like, yeah, I had torn up shoes. Okay, cool. It's just you're not trying to put on any sort of image. It's just I'm in band. I know that's nerdy. I skate, and at that time, skating wasn't really considered cool either.
Yeah.
It's just like okay, yeah, cool. He's like, I'm gonna go pick on so and so. And me having physically fought family members before, and I've gone through some other shit. I was like, fuck you, dude. I'm about to get suspended. Here we go. You really want to do this? I don't care if you are in the wrestling club. And then like I remember that too. Like in the gym, we're just like you guys just hug each other, and you guys wear like onesies all the time. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But then like the guys in my class, if you remember, like once again I'm gonna bleep this out, but Gabe Fleming,
Yeah.
we used to light paper on fire and like do a whole bunch of stupid shit in the class just because like we thought it was funny.
Is it lit on fire?
Oh hell yeah! We did that in 2 different classes
Lit
at
on a lighter and
Willoughby,
just,
at
like,
Willoughby Middle. Yeah, and like let it
In
like
middle school?
and let it go. But like we tried to
Honestly,
see how long
me-
we can go before the teacher got pissed.
You're wild.
This shit, I'm not.
Back in the
It's
day,
a
it
mob
was.
mentality, group mentality. Somebody did
That's
it. They were all
true.
gonna do it. But like even I remember those moments too. It's just like you feel like empowered almost.
By being an aggressive, controlling person.
Yeah, almost that, and just like being young and retarded and like just
Right?
wanting
Yeah, I
attention.
totally feel it,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
You know? But then at the same time, it's like the only thing I knew was like band and coming home and watching a shit ton of skate videos. So like, and even like in these videos, you have like reckless young guys doing really stupid shit if you think about it.
I literally watched a video of someone like walk up to a girl off the street, be like, "Hey, can we make out?" and then made out with her.
Yeah, I saw
That was,
that.
that was one of the
Yeah,
challenging Kings of the Road.
Yeah, it was.
The Thrashers. Like,
Yeah, it was.
Hey,
yeah.
But do you think
That was
like,
weird too.
But
Yeah.
do you think like that's considered like masculine, like being reckless?
Yeah,
I feel like that adds into it.
yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. It plays into it
it's not
because
giving a shit. It's like the whole no emotion
yeah,
thing.
the whole no emotion thing because a lot of females find that as sexy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Definitely.
like
I've
Giving
heard-
no fucks. Trust me.
yeah, because like I said, like in a few even like skate videos or other like BMX or extreme sport videos, there have been a few where like I'd watch this dude, he'd fall and his finger is dislocated, and he'll show it to the camera. He'll light a cigarette, pop it back in, and go do the trick.
oh my
And I remember
God.
thinking that I was like, "That's so
That's so
fucking cool."
badass.
Yeah, I was like, "That's the most badass thing." I was like, "Oh, I want to do that shit." And then one time I broke my wrist. I was like, "I do not want to do that shit." You know, but it was just like this. It's so hard to explain that, and because I think that is, but once again, biologically like a guy thing. It's the same thing with like gangster rap and like punk music when that was
No,
first
totally,
coming
yeah,
out.
with that before,
Everyone
yeah.
wants to be the bad guy for whatever
yeah.
reason. Nobody truly knows that being the bad guy is awful.
Oh, it sucks
Yeah.
ass.
But you're right. But everybody wants to be that ex-con gangster guy that
Man, look
runs
badass,
the
but it
fucking
sucks.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you end up getting shot. Like, if you live by the sword,
Right.
that's how you fucking die, dude, by the sword.
I feel like movies and TV play into that a lot.
Yeah,
It's like if you
Media,
think,
yeah,
even
yeah,
just like
yeah,
Grease,
yeah.
like a very iconic movie. Like there's like
Yeah.
John Travolta's character, like he's all like badass, wearing leather, like smoking
Yeah.
cigarette.
Yeah.
You got your good little Sandy, like just wearing her little poodle
Yeah.
skirts, and like
Yeah,
it's just
alright.
like good girl goes for the bad guy, and like that's kind of what's expected.
Well,
almost.
with femininity, if that's a word.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, it is.
Good vocab.
Fuck yeah. Line it up with fuck yeah. But, do you think girls kind of sometimes play into that? Because, like you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I
some
can
some
definitely
some
say,
guys,
like,
yeah.
I find it
That's the
attractive sometimes someone's like a little edgy, like a little emotional.
And then-
I don't care, but at the same
like-
time, like, why do I do this?
It's
I
like
know.
I've seen
I see
problems.
both sides.
I've seen problems in past relationships with me and a few other people. The girl will like act innocent, almost like that baby talk voice.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Got
It's
a
just-
fucking bar.
So it's just like
Sorry.
it's just like why do you do this, and you don't let me do this necessarily? She's like, well, that's just stupid. I was like, but you're fucking doing it. So if I tried to do it in terms, because it's like I would do it because my logic of my head is just like, well, if she's acting this way, maybe I should act this way too. So it's
It's like,
so
yeah,
it's
why
like
not?
similar, you know. She's like, no, you be normal. I will act almost like a small innocent being, which sounds once again that just saying that sounds terrible. But
Yeah,
girls
I know what you
like
mean, yeah.
like that innocence and like
Yeah.
guys being
Definitely.
controlling,
Like,
especially when it comes
no.
to like sex itself.
Like
Exactly.
being submissive in a sense.
Exactly.
Like that.
Just like
For whatever reason.
like on a personal like note though, I think like us as like women, we like part of us like find it attractive or whatever, and I think it's just like the mystery that we find attractive. But like I can tell you from like personal experience, like once you're in that situation, you're like, abort mission, fuck,
Abort.
fuck.
Got a blast.
Yeah, like
Thanks or no thanks, I'm out.
Yeah.
like hopefully this person like never hears this podcast. Anyway, but like I was making out with this dude or whatever, and like it was the first time like we were ever like making out or whatever. And then like he like puts his hand on my throat, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh.
And you guys didn't talk about it?
What?
Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, like later after the fact, was like, hey.
No, before.
No, but before that, because that's a
No,
very okay.
we never
Now there's
Always
a yeah,
before you
there's,
ask if you're into like
Yeah.
do that kind of
No,
stuff.
it just happened. And I was like, oh my god.
yeah.
I did not know what to do with myself, and like I just felt super uncomfortable because like having that like being acted upon, it's just part of it's like really terrifying.
Oh yeah, like that's the same problem I had
was
too.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like with a lot of the girls that I've dated, they're just like, "How are you with choking?" I was like, "I'm never gonna do that." They're like, "Come on." I was like, "No." And it's like why? It's like because I've actually choked someone before. All right, like yeah, exactly. It's like
For real before.
exactly. Yeah, it's like all joking aside though. It's like I might for real like get PTSD and like for real like fucking
Freak
kill
out.
you.
And like that's the serious issue.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like because like if
You
shit
in the news for choking your
if
girl
shit
out?
like that, no, dude, because that happens.
Girl
Gu-
died
guys
because
have totally
yeah,
gotten
like-
because like some people really like the whole fucking choking and like BDSM
I know.
thing
And like,
with like belts
to
and
each
shit.
his own, but like
Yeah.
sometimes that's just a lot.
Yeah, and then so like I tell every whatever girl if I'm like at that level with her, it's like no, I don't do that. I do not do that. You know what I mean? It's like I know that there's things you don't want me to do, and I respect that. So you should respect what I don't want to do.
And I think
You
like,
know,
when you're in a
it's
situation
weird.
like a guy starts to choke you, like when you're fooling around or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You should definitely
like-
talk about it first.
Yes,
Always-
but if in the
always
case
ask.
like you didn't talk about before, like I feel like the person being choked needs to be able to say like, hey, like
Have like a
not what I
word.
want.
Safe word.
But
Safe
there-
word.
Safe word.
there's
Yeah.
like
Safe
a
word.
fear, like as a woman, like going back, like, hey, I don't want to do that. Like, what if he doesn't listen? Like that's
Exactly.
an issue.
And that and
Yeah.
it's like if you're giving him the wrong idea, once again, this is another good reason why I don't drink or smoke. If you're at like a party and some chick is like grinding on you and she's like, "Oh my god, choke me," and then your dude is drunk as shit, he's like, "All right."
And then it goes too far.
Right. He doesn't know how strong he is.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like he can like actually, even if she doesn't like die, but like he can like actually like hurt like
Yeah,
a respiratory
or
shit.
bruising or
And then they both wake up and they're just like, "Holy shit!" You know what
What
I
the
mean?
fuck happened?
So that's why it's like I let everybody know. It's just like.
Not into
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. That is so far from not happening. Oh my god.
Well, I think
you know.
like Ashley brought up like media, and I just want to like come back to this or whatever because I think it's just like really interesting. So I think like women, I think we get ruined by like those like romantic movies or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
And you see like those dudes just like being all romantic or whatever, and it's super sappy, and like we kind of like we want this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But the thing is like no dude is ever going to like genuinely be like this.
It's like what we grew
I
up to
think-
idolize.
Yes, yeah. Hold hold on.
We like
That's
grew
the
up
movie.
on these
Yeah.
movies like The Notebook and Grease and
Oh,
all that,
yeah,
and, like
yeah.
idolizing like kind of little bad boy, and like it's just what we're accustomed
Am I not
to.
this guy?
Jonas, shut up.
I wasn't fighting through. I did all this.
But like I don't know, it's just I see where you're coming from.
And I think we like build up expectations. So I think like even though like men are just like, oh, I gotta be manly, I think like we as women even like support it too, because you know we want like that chivalry, we want that stoicism.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you go first, Jonas. You go first, dude.
Alright.
I see it.
Okay.
I see. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, just
All right.
yeah.
So like this whole expectation, like the little bad boy thing, like shit, dude. I didn't know I was going down. Like, it was a joke more than anything else at that point. Cause like the expectations are like grounded, and like you want someone who is simultaneously masculine, but also not so hyper masculine to the point where they're like meathead, like just yeah.
I think
don't know.
the thing that
Take it
like
away.
set me off was that there's no good men. I was like, that's
That's some
not
straight
true.
bullshit.
That's
That's
not
bullshit.
true.
There's 3 right here.
As long as it damn straight. Very good. Very good. But yeah, like in terms of it gets weird in terms of relationships, because for guys, well, people at least try to be very like genuinely honest. You reach that point to where you try very, very hard to please your significant other, and then there's like the ongoing joke. It's like, oh well, now my girlfriend's crazy. It's like she's not necessarily crazy, okay?
Yeah.
She's just expecting more from you, so you have to be patient, okay?
Thank
you have to
you.
wait.
Thank
You have to think before you fucking speak. All right,
Just don't be fucktarded. Like, come on.
that's in a nutshell. But yeah, it's just like I would do a whole bunch of things for whoever I was in a relationship with. And like even like the past, oh God, she probably is listening to this. Honest to God, it probably is. But like in like my past
She will, though.
relationship,
Watch out.
she broke up with me, but for like an unknown reason. And then that was the thing that like frustrated me the most, was because I made sure we never got into an argument. I was like, always see her side of it. You know what I mean? It's like there's no discrepancies
You did
here.
everything right.
Exactly. So
It
then,
doesn't-
I straight up like asked her too. I was like, "Is it because we don't argue that you don't want to do this?" You know, because like I honestly went to Google and Wikipedia and like
Say
men's
that. We'll
health.
talk for a minute.
Yeah, I was like, is it possible for a female to leave you for being nice? You know, but I think it comes down to some other personal things. But it was just very weird because seriously, we never argued ever. It was fantastic, and then one day it's just like I just not feeling it anymore. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's where like it's just kind of like torn apart by that, because it's like this is weird.
Is that where guys almost develop this idea of like, oh my god, I hate this so much, but just the concept of nice guys finish last.
Oh yeah,
Or,
like,
like,
the nice guy deserves to get the girl.
I
Like
fucking
I
hate
do
this
not
shit.
like that. Like
No.
if you're really a nice guy,
It's so
then a girl
damn
will go for
true.
you. And if you haven't found the right person, then just it's not gonna work out
And
just because
the-
you're a nice
the
guy.
caveat to that,
Sorry
though,
if that offends you.
it just gets really annoying though when you see total. And once again, this goes back to just not even masculinity, but basic psychology of males and females. A lot of females like dating assholes because they know what they're getting into, so to speak. Apparently,
You expect assholes to be
like
assholes.
for whatever reason, it was so mind boggling to see certain females go after a complete, like you said, like meathead. Like this guy is not smart at all.
He's not
He's
even
just on the
attractive.
football team.
He's
Yeah,
got
he's not even
muscles.
that attractive. He's really, really dumb. But yet, if you sit there and you're really smart and competent, it's like, yeah, sure, you don't bench. You know, why doesn't she go after? Why does this chick go after him instead of me? And then, like, I really thought about it. I was like, chances are that female mentally isn't ready for somebody like you.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
that's
mean?
what I hope for. Like being young, like immaturity comes on both sides of it.
Oh
And
yeah.
also, like if you're like some guys can be excessively nice,
Mhm.
which is probably a thing where you get yourself like be walked over and like used.
Like the
practically.
friend zone thing.
Kind of,
You-
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can just like speak from personal experience that like so like I know that I just like fucking hate this because I don't know. Like I had a really really good friend of mine who was like my best friend, and we were friends for like such a long time. But then eventually I was just like he ended up having feelings for me, and I was just like,
I know.
dude, yeah, Ashley knows.
Yeah, I know what you're
Nice
about.
guys finish last.
no. But like
I like your name,
anyway.
by the way.
Anyway, so, like eventually he just like stopped. He just kind of like distanced himself from me because I was just like, yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like in a relationship with you, and I don't have feelings for you. I just want to be friends. And I always made that like abundantly clear. And I never felt as though I was leading him on. You know, I was never like super like touchy feely or whatever, and I wasn't like flirtatious, I guess you could say. But then eventually he just like pulled away, and he told me that I had been leading him on for years, which I really didn't understand.
Oh my god, I was talking to someone about this today.
High school is fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, no, it totally is. But I guess, and then he told me that I like caused him like a ton of like emotional and mental damage. I'm like, well, sorry if I was nice to you.
High school's fucking weird, dude. Yeah, like you said, because certain guys, from being on the other side of that spectrum, I'll say this really quick, Joe, then we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's more or less you've run into so many bad apples. By the time you finally get someone that's remotely nice, you automatically think that that's it. Almost as like a
oh my God.
Finally, like a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But then she's just like, oh no, dude, we're just friends. You're just like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? And then you think it's super awkward because it's like, oh, now this chick thinks like I'm trying to rail, and she's not about it. And now study hall's fucking weird.
I don't know.
Damn, we go hacky sack,
This is a
man.
personal experience, isn't it?
No.
No,
Yeah.
it just like it's so no, like
Sounds real specific.
it's so painful. Like once you're just like honest with them, you're like, yeah, I just want to be friends, and they eventually like pull out of the friendship, and it's like, wait, were you like just friends with me because like you like want to like get in my pants and like get with me? Like the fuck? Sorry, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
I can speak from personal experience with like various friends. Like, there's this guy. I'm not gonna say his name because you might be listening to this, but like, he's like 20 and he hasn't had a girlfriend, and he's like, I'm nice.
Yeah.
Why don't girls like me?
I fucking know who you're talking
I
about.
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Wait. And like, it just pisses me off because it's just like, dude, you're not good with girls. Like, if a girl doesn't like you, like personally, I don't care. Like, it's just whatever. Like, there was no chemistry then. If it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, don't hate a girl just because she doesn't like you. Like,
Yeah, and I know.
True.
I
Yeah.
feel as though I know exactly who you're talking
oh,
about.
I'm
and
sure you do.
He's just like, but I'm a nice guy.
Ashley just met him.
Yeah, I just met him on Saturday.
It's like if you're saying stuff like that, chances are you're kind of not a nice dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
because like they have a sense of entitlement. Like, I've been nice to this girl, I should be able to sleep with her, and that's not always the case. Like,
No.
why can't you just be a decent human being to someone?
It's like,
and then
can't-
if she
can't-
wants to sleep with you, bonus.
It's like, can't you survive
Bonus.
more than 30
Bonus.
minutes without touching your penis? You know what I
Right?
mean?
Smooth Avery.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, as weird as this is with the whole masculinity conversation, sex does play a big part in it, which I thought was very kind of odd at first, because with this person that did leave me, I am kind of notorious for going very long periods of time without having sex, because I think it's very interesting to actually talk to people.
Yeah, like
So
I
yeah.
relate.
So it's like part
Yeah.
of me thinks that honestly could have been a reason why she left, even though she didn't want to say it. Because that's a big part of a relationship, you know what I mean? Now, from what I've been researching and what I've asked other people, that's not necessarily a masculine thing to do, is to talk. It's like if you guys fight or whatever, the fucking fight sex and makeup sex is the best. I was like, or you can actually talk and find out what's
Work
Be a
wrong.
human being.
Exactly, it's like you can be a human fucking being. I'm totally cool with eating ice cream with you and watching Netflix rather than fucking like every 12
Like, 'cause when
minutes.
it comes down to it,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
unless the
Don't joke
situation
with
is
that,
you're
that's
just
everything.
hooking up with the person, like,
Mhm.
you should be able to, like,
Oh my God.
enjoy the person's company, and then
Exactly.
the sex be, like, a separate thing.
Exactly,
You know?
because you reached this point, or at least for me, I reached a point to where like sex was not enjoyed. Not with this person, I just mean like in general. Like sex just was not in like that pleasing at all because it happened too much. You know
And,
what I
like,
mean?
That, like,
Just because
kinda
you
playing
can doesn't
into
mean you should.
The masculinity thing, like, there's this expectation
And
of,
me.
like, men need to have sex all the
Yes.
time to
Apparently,
be a man.
Yes, yes.
right,
That
right.
shouldn't be the case, because, like, I can tell you there are so many girls that complain about, like, I need a guy that just lets me, like, cuddle and do nothing with them. But then they go for, like you said, the meatheads, like, don't
Yeah.
care and just want sex.
Exactly.
And as a girl, it's so annoying to, like, see a really great girl, like, going for, like, this dumbass.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you can do better. You can find what you want. It's out there. Don't settle.
And I think-
Sorry, Jonas.
Oh, go ahead.
You go.
Okay. I think for dudes too, it's important to know that like you gotta do your own thing because you genuinely want to do your own thing. Don't say you listen to the Rolling Stones and the Sex Pistols and that you paint and that you collect vinyl and you go thrift shopping just because you know one girl in your class for one semester might be into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because they're gonna know who's genuine and who isn't. You know, and that's where I think you can make the clearest division between these dudes that are complaining that they're not getting girlfriends and guys that are just kind of like, I don't really want a girlfriend, but I guess I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Honestly. Dude, honestly, that's the
point.
same boat I fell into. Because
you
it's
get a
like,
girlfriend, you don't give a shit. That's what you do. You just wait until they come along to you, and then you just get it.
yeah, because once, and even girls see that, it's like once girls know that you have something else going
You
on
have
that
a
you're
life,
passionate
yeah.
about, then they know that like your life in the beginning is not going to revolve around them. You know?
You have your own thing. You're not just like
Exactly.
being a wimpy dork. waiting
Exactly.
around.
Because oh my goodness, I talked to so many dudes about this. There are definitely, it's the coin goes, you know, this
Definitely
goes both ways. But like, there are a lot of girls that are just really needy, almost because their boyfriend doesn't do anything else. What does your boyfriend do? Oh, he works, and then we watch Netflix. We're like, damn, that's fucking
That's it?
boring. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, there are definitely girls that are like, yeah, I broke up with my boyfriend because he does too much shit. And
He's
there's
too clingy,
no
yeah.
time, yeah, and there's no time for me and shit.
I
Yeah.
honestly hate it when like guys like do shit just to impress girls. Because like personally, I get that shit like from people. They think that I do shit just because I'm hipster. But in all reality, like I'm just like doing what the fuck I want. Like, I don't care what people think of me.
What are your
Like, I
glasses?
got these cool socks on.
Wait, hold
What
on.
do those look like?
They're mushrooms.
Yo!
That's so.
Like-
I'm a fan.
That's how you do it.
Joe Schruman on his feet.
Like I honestly just do
That
shit
sounds good when I
because I
got
like
this.
it, and like I don't do shit to impress people. For all I care, you could say that my style is complete shit, my music taste is shit, and that's a bunch
Oh,
of pretentious
dang.
hipster bullshit. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what, fuck you too.
I gotta have a slight question from the masculinity thing, and it is a question of what is creativity? Because I agree with Joe. You reach this point to where it's like, yeah, I cuff my jeans all the time. It was only until very recently that I realized that people do that in skate videos. It was almost like relatable. It was like, now I cuffed my jeans because I genuinely thought it was interesting. Like, you can ask my mom, there are baby pictures of me doing that shit. You know what I mean?
It's legitimately, it has actually use for the record. Like,
Yeah,
jeans is good for
yeah.
girls.
If you know what you're, if there's a point to it, yeah. But even from like a fashion sense, like I'm weird. I paint with coffee. You know what I mean?
paint. I play vinyl. I love the Rolling Stones.
Right. Oh, yeah. I like the Sex Pistols, bro. But like what we talked about the other day, it's like, yeah, I sit in my basement and meditate, like in my boxers for hours at a time. I'm not about to put that shit on Facebook like, hey, looking for single girl that can meditate with me in the dark while I try to find my mind. I want to find her mind and we can coalesce. It's just like,
And at the
no.
same time, you're fucking her because that's really just what you want. You know?
Exactly. Especially if you're putting things like that on social media, you're doing it for attention.
Choosing for attention.
No,
Exactly.
like, I know what you
Exactly.
mean. And, like, okay, I don't know if you experience this, Ashley, but, like, this happens all the fucking time. Like, I always have dudes, like, random dudes that I don't even know. I just have, like, a couple mutual friends with them, but, like, they're always friending me on Facebook. They're always single, and they always, like, message me up, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Hey,
just leave me
girl.
the
Boy,
fuck
boy,
alone.
Shay.
Girl.
Hey, girl.
No,
how
like
you doing?
it'll happen like all maybe friends someone on Facebook is like, oh yeah, I know who that is. They graduated 2 years ago. Blah 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 blah. And then they start messaging me, and then I don't answer. And
Do
they
they
get
know
pissed.
that you're like 18-ish?
Yeah, like I'm 17, and they're like 22, and I'm like,
Whoa.
take it
Whoa. Hey there.
But like, and then they get pissed when you don't message them back, and then they unfriend you. I'm like, what the? I just friended you because I
They
know
were
who
just
you
trying
are.
to hit because they're desperate as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Honestly, like it sounds
21,
bad.
everyone
oh
else leaves.
jeez.
But, like, I don't understand, I guess, just this, like, stereotype, you know, like, that I guess collates with masculinity, you know, of just, like, having, like, a ton of sex or whatever. You know, guys are just like, oh my god, I boned this many girls, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah, the whole numbers game. It was like, it's like, how are you supposed to be proud? Yeah, it's like, how are you supposed to be proud that you had sex with like 5 or 6 people in the span of a week? It's just like,
It's like-
you're a really shitty person.
And it's like, oh, yo, you have a really high chance of getting an STD, so.
Yeah, it's like you probably got one of them pregnant. You know, me sitting
You
alone.
might have a baby in like
Right.
8 or 9 months. Just
Exactly.
watch out.
It's
you
just
know?
like now me sitting alone in my basement or painting by myself. there's
Or being-
there's a 0%
Painting.
chance, right? There's a 0% chance of anybody doing anything. You know, it's like when you meet someone, I think people need to meet in person. You know what I mean? I
definitely.
met a few of my girlfriends even like at Arabica while I
You
was
need
like
that
drawing
personal
or doing some other
connection
shit.
first, like, face to
Right.
face. Because you can
Right.
say anything you want over text, but it's so easy to pick up on like if someone's being fake or like
Exactly.
not saying what they truly want,
Exactly.
like in person. Like you can see like they really don't like that band. They just want to say yeah.
Exactly. And it's very funny to see the people that hide too, because it's like if you do look at their social media, it's like, does this person really like this and this? And then you see that they're all into like sports stuff. You're just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be that judgmental, but,
But like
I'm definitely
I
being
see
that
the
judgmental.
lies. I see the
Yeah.
bullshit.
With your fake ass.
Going
Yeah.
back to the whole men having a lot of sex thing, like there's the flip side of like women, like if they hook up with a guy or whatever, like they're like, you can't do that, like that's
Fuck
not
yes.
okay. Like
Oh, how do you?
I
Oh,
mentioned
go
to
ahead.
someone recently, like, oh yeah, I hooked up with this guy. He's like, why'd you do that? Like you didn't, that's slutty. Like, I'm like, because I wanted to.
Yeah.
I did. Leave me alone.
Because
but
I
then
wanted-
like they'll be talking to one of their guy friends. It's like, oh yeah, I did this weekend. And they're like, oh yeah, go you. I'm like,
Yeah,
why the fuck
I
can't I sleep with a
fucking
guy?
hate that.
Why can't I
Double
do what
standards.
I want?
They're like,
Exactly.
they're like, hit that, and like, I just think it's so disgusting because I think it also like plays into just like the degradation of women, which
Yeah.
just really annoys me. Joe,
You can tell there's a couple
I'm gonna
feminists.
talk about a few things. For one, like I hate when people like have band T-shirts and they don't know the bands, or like I'm talking
Yes.
about
Name 3 songs.
Name the first
Like-
fucking album.
like for example,
That's a good. That's a better question. Is the first album?
Keep
actually.
going, Joe. Keep,
I listen
keep
to
going.
like a lot of like just like I don't know like just weird bands, and I'm gonna talk. I'm not gonna get interrupted.
He likes
again.
indie.
No, you go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
And like
Get
I
it,
don't
you're a
know, for
hipster.
example, no, I don't even care.
Shut
About
up.
that. But like I don't know, just like I've talked to a few girls. I'll be like, I listen to like Told Slam, and we'll be like, oh my god, I listen to them too, but they don't actually like know half their songs.
Oh, what's your favorite song by them? You know that one. Don't remember the name.
Or it's gonna be like
No.
Low Hymnal, and like it's their most popular song. But, like, do you know any other songs? So they're like, no.
And like sometimes I see like that's genuinely their favorite song, but like usually it's not the case.
No. And like another thing is like I understand where you guys are coming from. Like girls can't talk about hooking up with guys, but guys can talk about hooking up with girls. Because I've had that. Like I can tell my guy friends like, oh, I hooked up with this girl this weekend. They're like, oh, that's so cool. But I feel like if she like
Whoa!
if she told her friends, they'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like why are you telling us? Like
well, I think like part of us are also like getting into a culture, and like I've kind of seen this where like girls will like hook up with guys or whatever, and they might like talk to their girlfriends about it, and like some girls will be like, oh yeah, hit that, great job, and I think we're kind of like slowly growing into like a more accepting culture
That's
of
really
female
good.
sexuality. Yeah, it's totally great, but I still think that there's like a ton of people who like aren't accepting of it at all.
Well, I feel like there's also like this fine line with women, like they can have as much sex as they want or whatever to a certain point, but once they reach like a certain body count or whatever you want to call it, like
I'm killing them.
body
it's,
count.
it's
With this
no,
bomb
too much,
pussy.
too much. You need to calm down.
Killing
And they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like shamed and like just let girls do what they want. Like, jeez, oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I was curious to know how the whole if someone were gay, how that goes. So it's like it's okay for two girls to kiss drunk at a bar, but the second two guys do
Fuck
it,
yes.
you know what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying?
No.
She ain't no crossing swords
And also talking about,
over
like,
the bar.
Two girls, like guys will think like two girls are making out so hot and like they'll like jack off to that shit or whatever, and then like
Yeah.
when there's an actual lesbian couple like out in public just holding hands, like what the fuck are you doing? Like no, just why do you have to hypersexualize it? Like why can't they be a normal couple?
I do think that is interesting too. Yeah, a lot
Or,
of
like-
guys think it's really sexy that like lesbians exist, but then when they see like the feminazi lesbians,
Oh,
yeah.
they don't care at all. It's like,
Yeah.
what did
Or,
you
like-
think was gonna
like-
Or they have a certain image of the lesbian, you know. They
Yeah.
like they want almost like quote unquote like the hot lesbian, like
Yeah,
someone who's
yeah,
like
yeah.
obviously like thin, super pretty or whatever.
very perky apparently.
Thank you.
But there's also like straight white girls or straight girls in general. Like they're like see a gay couple and they're like, oh, they're so cute. But then two girls hold hands or like a quick kiss. They're like, what the fuck are they doing? That's
Even like old
okay.
baby
Like,
boomer guys just like have like pin-up girls in their garages.
Yeah.
One or two girls
Yeah,
like
yeah,
washing
yeah.
a car. It's like you're okay with that, but
You're-
if your daughter was gay, you wouldn't be.
You'd
okay
like
with
kick
that.
her out of the house and shit. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
it's
There's
weird.
a girl I know. I think Chelsea knows her actually. Like she came out to her parents and like typical baby boomer parents, and they were like, no, sorry, they like took away her college tuition. Like they weren't. gonna kick her
What?
out. Yeah,
Are you
and she was
fucking
like
serious?
freaking out. Like they like kicked her out something insane. I was like, why? Like why is that okay?
Wow.
And meanwhile, like, the dad probably has, like, posters of girls and, like, crap. You know, like,
Yeah.
why is it not okay when it's someone you know personally, but, like, two girls in, like, Playboy or whatever, like, oh, yeah, it's fine, it's whatever.
That's
you know?
really weird.
I
By the way,
think it plays
Playboy
into
doesn't
the-
have nudes anymore.
You know what you mean.
It's
The
just-
hypersexualization of girls and,
But
like,
yeah.
we have to be this sexual object without actually being sexual.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
some ways, I feel like girls do it on purpose, or no, I feel like some girls do it inadvertently and they don't realize
Yeah,
what they're
it's
doing.
like
So
that-
it's like, if you're a young teacher in a classroom, why does your shirt stop at your belly button? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If a girl, or not a girl, if a woman were teaching a college class and you don't want all the fucking dumbass, young
Yeah.
males staring at your rack, you know what I mean? Most of the time, if the instructor knows what she's doing, she'll wear something that, like, stops right at her neck.
And
you
I
know?
totally see where you're coming from, but I feel like at the same time, there is a level, like,
Yeah.
teachers need to be appropriate, I get
Right,
that.
but at the same time,
But,
yeah, it's
like,
like, don't sexualize
why
everything.
can't they just wear
Right.
what they want? Like, maybe she just really likes
Right.
that top and feels good in it. Like,
Right.
she's not doing it for anyone else,
Right.
she's doing it for her. Like, why
At-
can't that be it?
At the same time, it's like, yeah, you can always ask why, but until you literally change the psychology and anatomy of a man, I feel like that will always exist.
Yeah.
So it's like, if a girl wears something she finds cute, you kind of have to expect some guys to drool over it because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know? In terms of guys not being... In terms of males in this day and age, in my opinion, in terms of males de-glorifying, in order to get males to stop making fun of gays, I think that could be taught along with racism. Like the whole racism, classism thing. You can also slowly filter out being prejudiced, or any sort of prejudice idea could slowly be phased out if it's taught properly. Like if you like the kids like you guys know how, like, gay marriage is legal.
Yeah.
Imagine those people that adopt. They're totally cool. Those kids that grow up honestly might have a better childhood than some of the older people because at least they have two parents.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a masculine parent, but at least they have two parents. You know what I mean? To support them. What's up, Jonas? We got Jonas at the table. What's up, dude? What's going on,
I
man?
keep forgetting what I'm gonna say.
Okay,
It's like,
what's up, Max?
I'll speak.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead, go for it.
I just want to say I hate it when guys think that girls do shit to impress them, like every day,
Definitely.
like makeup or something. Like girls, I feel like, I don't know, like from personal experience, speaking to, like, previous girlfriends, like they don't do it to impress you. They do it to, like, you know what I mean, for themselves.
Oh yeah. I thought that was interesting too.
I just want to say, like,
Oh, go for it.
do you think I spend $50 on an eyeshadow palette to make my eyelids gold just for you? No.
I thought mainly
that is
it's
my
a.
$50. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm about.
I thought it was a female to female thing. I didn't know how goddamn important eyebrows were
Oh.
until like my
Oh,
first or
they make
second
or break a
girlfriend.
face.
I was like,
They
damn.
make or break a
It's
face.
like a. You know what I mean? I honestly think just as men have to be strong and testosterone hungry, for girls it's all emotional. So instead of their battleground being a physical one, it's more of a psychological one.
Fuck
So
yes.
you have to seem more intimidating or witty than that's why girls won't let shit go that happened in, like, elementary school, even once they go to graduate school. You know what I mean? It's the same as, once again, when two guys fight, they pretty much beat the shit out of each other and it's done.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Right.
but then girls, it's like, she looked at me dirty in the hall like freshman year. I
Exactly.
can't talk to her, and they're like in college. I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck are you doing? But
It's
back
like-
to the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like,
Image.
just saying, like, I look like an egg without makeup. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me without makeup. Probably not.
I'm not
but I
taking a side.
dead ass look like an egg. It's hilarious.
Go back to middle school.
I'm just gonna complain real quick about my hairstylist. So I go up to Imagine Salon and Spa over by Immaculate.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Elise is my hairstylist, and I ask her to, like, trim my eyebrows up. Like, I'm expecting, like, a wax, like, grip, you know what I mean? And Joey just clips them a bit and is done. Like, no. And I'm just like, it's happened multiple times. I'm just, like, trying to figure out a way to tell her, like, no, I want a wax. Like, I'm willing to pay extra $5.
That is weird. It's like guys can look good, but in different ways. Like in the 1940s and 50s, it was cool to have your shirt tucked in, have your nice 3-piece suit, and have your shoes waxed.
It's not cool anymore?
But I tuck in my shirt. We both wear belts and shit. Yeah, we know what's up. We know what's
You know
up.
your
Yeah,
belt.
yeah. But for guys to get their makeup done has yet to be a true
something acceptable.
There's also
Exactly.
this thing that they have called metrosexuality, where it's like you take care of yourself and like actually like take care of yourself well, or like dress well and like do your eyebrows and like make sure like your facial hair is trimmed and nice and like
Right.
it's looked down upon. A lot is like, I want to say the word, but like faggy and like not masculine because they take care of themselves.
And that's weird. It's like, well, then to be masculine, does that mean just to be not even
Slob?
hash,
Yeah.
but just like dirty as fuck?
I could just
You
say,
know?
like, from a woman's standpoint, like, it's definitely more attractive, and this is just me, it might be a different case with some other girls, but, like, it's more attractive to see a guy, like, take care of himself and, like, want to be clean or, like, you know, actually cares about his image, rather than, like, dirty and gross and just nasty, like...
I mean, like, especially as it's South, I hated just about, like, every guy there. They'd all
Me.
just piss
True.
me off. Aside from, like, you
Relatable.
and a few others.
Relatable.
He
And,
means
like-
me. He's honest.
And, like, I don't know, just a lot of them, like, they're just gross. And they're,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to say his name. He's in my chemistry class. He really is just, like, overweight football player. MC are his initials.
He's an
Oh.
MC. He's
He's
an
a real
MC
MC.
Ryan. What the fuck?
And it's just, like, he just doesn't take care of himself. And it just grosses me out every single day. Because I'm just like, you need to take care of yourself.
Take a shower, take a shower, please.
Yeah, take a shower.
Just-
The thing is, a lot of like young people like that are in high school, all try to go for this hyper masculine assertive image because they think it's cool because they're young and immature and like impressed upon like that whole image is impressed upon them by like their parents, by movies, by media.
Yeah.
And they see this image of this perfect dude who's like big and muscly and kind of dumb, but people flock to him because he's big and muscly.
Exactly.
So they're like, I should look like that.
Kind of like
Who cares what I say or what I do? I should look like that.
kind of like I guess I don't know, like just thinking about it, like, you know, when like boys are young or whatever,
Yeah.
like everyone wants to be like, you know, the QB, like everyone wants to be like, okay, I'm not saying like
I did not
every,
correct
I'm not saying
I
every,
wanted to be the
oh,
QB.
you did,
Yeah,
you want to be QB.
Pass it around.
No, but I'm saying like and I think it's part of it is because, you know, like with society, whatever, like we say like, oh, you know, these are like our like prime humans in our society, or like we see movies, you know, like high school movies and stuff, and you have like captain of this team, QB of the football team, and then everyone just like thinks that they're so cool and so amazing, and like they're just popular. And then we also have like the stereotype of like women like flocking to them or whatever, and then just like having tons of sex with like all these girls. And I think that it's just awful because, you know, you teach like kids really, really young that this is what they should be like.
I totally understand it. Like, so like High School Musical, Troy Bolton, star of basketball. Like, it sounds dumb, but like it's the perfect example. And then Gabrielle, like, she's not as popular, but like she's like, oh, I want to date Troy. Like, and like it's just what we look towards. Like, we need to fit into that popular mold. And when you don't, when you feel like an outcast, like it really sucks, and it's hard to like come to terms with that sometimes. But then once you do, it's so much better.
I can speak first. I can personally admit, like, my parents used to tell me in elementary school about, like, how I should get a varsity jacket for, like, golf, basketball, baseball.
I could
like,
get
my senior year.
for golf. Side note.
And then, like, I remember in, like, 7th grade, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go on the football team in 8th grade. Never did. Like, I had a really just transitionary period from, like, 6th to, like, 10th grade. 11th grade more so, like, trying to figure out who I am, and now I'm happy with who I am because like sophomore year is a wreck. 11th grade is just like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like,
That's me all the
and
time.
then freshman year I'm just lost.
So like I noticed this the other day with myself actually. Like going back to freshman year, I just tried so hard to fit in. Like I saw everyone like I don't know. Like I always like was drawn towards the edgy people or whatever you want to call them. And then like I just cared so much about what people thought. And then like over time, like this year, like I literally don't care. Like someone told me, like, why do you do that? Why do you act like that? And I'm like, I don't know. It makes me happy. Like I'm not trying to please anyone, and I think that's just something that comes as you age. Hopefully,
Maturity.
yeah, as you mature.
Yeah.
Also cuffing pants.
Well, like,
You quad cuffing, bro?
Only triple today.
You want me triple? All right, I'm on like
it was an off day for
I'm
me.
on like a double and a half right now.
Well, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, from like what I can tell, like I've spoken to like other individuals, like one of my close friends, Charlie, loved him.
Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting dude.
So like what you guys were mentioning or whatever about like middle school or whatever, how I guess like this just because I mean you're like growing up or whatever and you're going through like this really rapid growth process, and I guess like just being masculine in masculine society has just been really impressed upon you, and it's just like, hey, be like this, and I guess like those who really can't like fit into the mold, or if it's harder for them, you know, like they're super duper lost. And I think that and I think that really has a negative effect, especially like on young men. And so coming back to Charlie, I was talking to him about this. He's just like, yeah, in middle school, I mean, I tried to fit into that like masculine mold, you know, tried to be like super manly and everything. And he absolutely hated it, and he felt so lost. But now, I mean, he's obviously like grown up, and he's like come away from that. And now looking on the outside, he's just like, yeah, that's fucking dumb, you know.
We got one more minute to go because we're basically at the hour mark. Mags, what do you think we could do? I can hear that, by the way. Yeah. What do you think could be done to sort of tackle this weird paradox of masculinity? To wrap this whole thing up.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think it's just like how we like I think it's how there's so many different factors that play into this, you know? And I think part of it is just like men have to be more accepting of men, women have to be more accepting of men. And I think that a lot of this is really deep-seated homophobia, you know, because people don't, like, a lot of these men don't want to be, like, mistaken for being gay. So I think that over time, hopefully, we can shy away from that, especially with homosexuality, kind of, like, being more accepted in our society.
But how do you think people can, like, truly, like, implement it? Like, if we were to do it, like, tomorrow.
Oh, no, okay,
so... I mean, if there's, like, a campaign for it or whatever.
Okay, so, like, for example, I think that what would be cool is if we could totally eradicate like sayings like act like a man or be a man,
man up, stuff like that.
Exactly,
and like
or grow a pair.
Also,
like,
what plays into it is like the whole idea like we just need to like educate in a sense. I guess like say like it's okay, you don't need to be like this if you don't want to. You don't have to fit the mold. Like
yeah.
I think that plays into a big part of it as well.
And I think just like allowing men to like talk about their feelings and you know come out and say whatever they want, you know. Or what they're feeling at that given point in time.
That might also, honestly, like help diffuse the hate that like a lot of guys have. Because naturally, we're just kind of expected to suppress a lot of it. And then on the football field, or whatever the medium is, there you go. It's all it's all purged. Well, thank you guys for all your input on this pleasant podcast. Today, your host was Mags. I'm Avery. This is Ashley. You want to say something?
Good.
Okay, all right. Then there was Joe. What's up, man?
Joe.
And then there was, of course, Jonas.
What's up?
All right, we will see you guys on the flip side. Aloha.